Yes.
Hello. Καλά, εσείς. Ωραία. Πόση ώρα περίπου? I will reach out a hand of friendship to whoever is elected by the Turkish people and try to build upon the momentum that has been established after the devastating earthquakes. But I'm not naive. I know that foreign policies of countries don't change from one day to the next. But I would hope that the next Turkish government would overall reconsider its approach towards the West, not just towards Greece, towards Europe, towards NATO, and towards the United States. Can be resolved only by using. Do you believe that a period of political uncertainty? But again, I have to be a realist and not be too naive, and that is why we will continue with our firm foreign policy. That means we will continue to strengthen our deterrence capabilities and our defense capabilities. Focus on our strong alliances. At some point, we make it very, very clear that let's hope for the best. But again, I have to make sure that I'm also ready for a renewed period of tension after the elections.
How would you deal with that?
With the same way we have dealt with it so far. I mean, at some point we make it very, very clear that there are red lines that simply cannot be crossed. We will build up on our alliances and we will continue to strengthen our deterrence posture. Again, I wish I did not have to spend, much more than 2% of my GDP on defense. But unfortunately, we live in a precarious neighborhood with a much larger country than us that's also, been behaving aggressively. Sorry, but I'll leave it at that.
You've said that your migration policy is tough but fair. But it has come under a lot of criticism, including from international rights organizations. If you're re-elected, is there anything in your migration policy that you would change?
We would continue with the same approach of making sure that we protect our borders. And by tough but firm migration policy, I mean that we simply don't have an open door policy as the previous government did. But this does not mean that we don't fully respect fundamental rights. We recognize that we need a more comprehensive European approach to migration. I'm happy that the European Union has finally realized that this needs to start with the protection of our external borders, but this is again not enough. We will build our fence on our northern border. Again, I want to make it very clear, I'm unapologetic about that. We have reversed the policy of the previous government, which had an open door policy, which ended up, allowing more than 1 million people to cross into Greece in 2015. That's not going to happen again. If we are to be re-elected, yes, I'm convinced we will have investment grade before the end of the year. If, however, another government comes in place, and I'll be very, very blunt, if Syriza tries to implement even a fraction of what they have said they will, they want to do, this will lead not just to permanently abandon the idea of investment grade, but also to a possible downgrade, no, a certain downgrade of our economy.